Welcome my brothers to another crazy chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Enemy Stand User, and if I were to summarize my reading experience these last JJK chapters, it's cataclysmic. Sukuna is a freaking demon. He is like the culmination of a curse and is just a monster. There is no reason or logic. Sukuna is just damn evil, and this chapter certainly reminded us he is and will always be a curse. Today, Gege just let loose. So now the king of curses has gained new flesh and is unchained by the bonds that held him back before. It is revealed Sukuna can indeed choose his vessel, but what he noticed is that Yuji is likened to a cage, since Yuji has the capacity to suppress him, and also Megumi is the same case. He has the same capacity to suppress Sukuna. So in Sukuna's viewpoint, Megumi and Yuji are more like cages instead of vessels because he couldn't technically overpower their souls like other incarnates could. The reason Sukuna may want Megumi's body is because he saw his curse technique's potential, but he needed to ensure full control over Megumi's flesh, so he chose to bide his time and let his own power increase inside of Yuji just until the right moment. He waited until the moment Megumi's soul shattered, and that's just damn evil. Sukuna took control when Megumi was at his lowest point and seized his opportunity despite the risk. Sukuna is back, and it's so gnarly seeing how strong his presence resonates in the series. Even Sukuna just being him sends chills down for most of us, and he does that iconic hair slick back and bro is just badass. He's him and there's nothing anyone can do about it. The chapter continues as an extension to the fearsome womb arc, a callback from all the way back from chapter 9. Today it's called the Cursed Womb Under Heaven Part 5. So it's a reference to the fearsome womb arc and also a reference to being under heaven, to which Sukuna is the one fallen from heaven. So this is way too cool. It's like it goes full circle. In the start of the chapter, Sukuna has manifested into Megumi Fushiguro's body. In effect, he has transferred all the power and essence of 15 Fingers to Megumi and is reborn in new flesh. So as for our boy Yuji, he is virtually defenseless against the strongest opponent he's ever faced, and he's very much confused. Just think about what Yuji has lost in this moment. Because Sukuna has transferred his power, Yuji is no longer a vessel, so as such, things like Sukuna's curse tolerance, poison resistance, and most importantly, reverse curse technique and his durability is mostly gone. Yuji just lost a finger with that recent injury, and whatever damage is inflicted, it's going to stay with Yuji unless he learns reverse curse technique or finds help. Yuji was a lot more resilient and his power grew when Sukuna grew stronger, but now it's all up to Yuji. And I actually find it funny how many fans have this main character agenda with Yuji, but Gege just said F that and demolished Yuji in one shot with a DBZ style dramatic finish. He absolutely cooked him. And Yuji is a peon, utter trash to Ryoma and Sukuna, as he gives Yuji a ferocious gut punch. I can tell Sukuna has just been waiting to do that ever since he met Yuji. He didn't hold back, didn't talk to him, just looked in Yuji's general direction and sent him flying 4 blocks away. I don't even think he cared whether Yuji lived or died, smacking him through multiple buildings, but he's out cold. Again, Yuji's just gotta hold that there's no demon keeping him alive this time. So I hope Yuji's inborn toughness can keep him alive or help him out somehow. Otherwise, bro needs Shoko or the ER at this point. This massive shock to the colony got the whole city on edge. So now Maki and Takaba are on alert and on their way over. I can't help but to acknowledge that Takaba is relatively serious here and even sweating. So if Takaba is concerned, that is really frightening when he's not wearing a smile. Though Sukuna is already onto them, calling the lot of them insects and using the 10 Shadows technique to summon a giant Nue bird. No, in fact, this thing is like a kaiju at this point, reaching Sukuna's level of power and sending Nui's lightning down around their entire vicinity. This lightning is a cursed energy trait, so inherently it would be unblockable and its output is very wide. Kashimo definitely got his work cut out for him, that's all I'm saying. So these massive strokes of lightning would have been pretty bad for Maki and Takaba. I mean, the immensity of Sukuna's power is already at the top, so his new Shikigami are just on a whole different level. I can't wait to see more, especially with Furu's incantation with Mahoraga, maybe even beyond that with the Gashadokuru skeleton or other sacred treasures. I am very much down to see something like that, because I'm certain the full potential of the 10 Shadow sacred treasures will be unlocked through Sukuna. So as Sukuna's Nue summons lightning strikes, the angel takes control and immediately neutralizes the 10 shadows technique. Sukuna notices that because Hana and Angel coexist, they recover faster from unconsciousness. Against Hana's wishes, the angel has engaged Sukuna in battle, and this honestly couldn't be more epic. Hana is a very mild presence and they seem to shy from confrontation. However, Angel is certainly a golden age elite, and crazy enough, they may have the full capacity to even exercise Sukuna. They are like an antithesis to Sukuna's malevolence. It seems Angel has a curse technique or some innate power of a certain radiance, and this radiance targets Sukuna's incarnation. Hana is uncertain about opposing Megumi, but now that Angel has recognized Megumi as the fallen, they must take a gamble to tear Megumi and Sukuna apart to extinguish the demon before it takes root. Remember, the angel can neutralize cursed techniques, but it can also eradicate the fuse between cursed object and vessel. Albeit the survival rate is extremely low, but they have the capacity to extinguish incarnates nonetheless. Angel calls upon radiance that purifies all things, to extinguish evil, sin, and misery, to guide them to the right path. And this chant actually sounds like a prayer to Angel's faith or God. It's really cool to see Angel in action because they are powerful. Angel is locked in. Even a newly realized Sukuna is in awe of such a power as Angel releases an almighty technique out of this world. The scale and output reaches across the city like it spans across the heavens itself. This technique is rightly named Jacob's Ladder, and this power manifests a circular pattern and a star, which leaves a lot to interpretation, but I theorize it's like a connection of purity to ward off evil. The 7-pointed star representing perhaps the 7 holy archangels, and this is by far the coolest curse technique that I've seen. Blowing Hana's trumpet horn, this attack is like a purifying ray of God's light and leaves Sukuna in a terrible state. Angel and Hana are in disagreement about fighting Megumi, but they attempt to rip Sukuna's soul away from Megumi, and from the looks of it, I don't think Sukuna took it too well. He's like a demon getting bathed in holy light, literally stabbed by holy radiance. But this fight is very emotional for Hana too, since we understand Hana truly does respect and even love Megumi. She doesn't want this fight, but she needs Sukuna out of him. I think after chapter 210, this is a lot more powerful because she loves Megumi. It's like that. But now the fallen has harnessed her loved one and the worst outcome is inevitable. But as Hana pushes through tears and keeps attacking Sukuna to rip him away, Megumi's voice suddenly calls to her, saying, "Hana, I remember now." Remember meaning Megumi remembers the girl he saved all those years ago. Sukuna's marks start to disappear and he reaches out his hand to embrace Hana. It's almost a heartfelt moment until you realize the most evil demon in history is inside of Megumi. Hana is distraught and in every sense of the word, she falls for Megumi. She deactivated her curse technique, left herself defenseless, and is an emotional wreck, tricked to embrace the boy she loves. The angel really tries to warn Hana to stop because they know that's still Sukuna, but Hana won't listen. She's too emotional to listen. So how much more evil is it that Sukuna's malevolence is beyond even his power? It's his very nature. Sukuna is incapable of caring for others and lives for his own desires. So as a curse, he will steal, kill, screw, trick, and manipulate anyone and anything to get what he wants. Incarnates can mimic their vessels, and that shows now more than ever. Sukuna is just a monster. While embracing Hana, Sukuna goes feral and is going to eat Hana alive. Now that, my brothers, is just effed up. Sukuna is a damn monster, just like any other curse. His face here is horror. It looks like any other cursed spirit. They just eat humans, they eat each other just to consume, curse, and become cursed. No reason, logic, or anything, just instinct. This is tragic. Hana is such a pure person to be mistreated and tricked under the guile of Sukuna. That was low even for him. But curses have no standards or reason, they just act on instinct. And Sukuna's gonna eat Hana. That's the reality that we're faced with now. But who can even stop him, because he's really got her? I could only imagine some scenario like Megumi resisting somehow, or the angel pulling something off, but even then, that's just hopeful thinking. I really hope not to witness Sukuna consuming a precious girl like Hana, because that is disgustingly diabolical. Today's chapter, we really see the reality of facing Sukuna inside of Megumi. Even if Hana could kill Sukuna, she still is harming and killing her crush. In the future confrontations, that will always be something to consider. It's still Megumi in there, and when Sukuna is fully reborn, I highly doubt even Megumi's soul would remain. And remember, Angel's fate is super important, since Angel is the key to free Gojo, and that is a reason why she can't die yet, but there may actually be more to it than that. While I hate the idea of Hana getting eaten, right now there's not any reason Sukuna wouldn't consume her. Angel can actually kill him. As crazy as it seems, she can extinguish Sukuna with her radiance, at least in the state that Sukuna is in now. So if Sukuna resorted to manipulate Hana's feelings and wanted to kill and eat her, that is exactly what he'll do. Who's stopping him? He's already about to dig in. We understand Sukuna finds exquisite pleasure in the consumption of eating. He eats people. And a popular theory is that what Sukuna consumes, he inherits. Meaning that when Sukuna eats a sorcerer, he may have a condition where he gains their curse technique. Sukuna's entire epithet is among disgrace. His curse technique slices things like a knife. It cooks things with fire. His domain expansion is a mouth filled not only with bull skulls, but decorated with human remains. And he also has a mouth exposed on his belly. He is not human. Everything about Sukuna's nature screams, I eat people and harness their power. It's just a theory, but it's a really goddamn good one, because if he harnessed Angel's curse technique, then he would be the key to free Satoru Gojo. Imagine Sukuna as the one and only person with the means not only to fight Gojo, but to be the one to free him as well. And not to mention, Sukuna with Angel's power would be beyond broken. But I have no clue what could transpire next. Something may happen to stop Sukuna from eating Hana, but again, he has her in his clutches. I don't know who could possibly even stop Sukuna at this point. We saw even just with his power with Nue, it was like a massive kaiju. So all of his other Shikigami, including 3 unknown treasures, would be insane. Maharaga already had been defeated once by Sukuna, so if its nature or power is still the same, Sukuna can tame it. I think it's terrifying to imagine how Maharaga would evolve given Sukuna's level as a sorcerer. But things are looking dark. Maybe if more strong sorcerers gang up on Sukuna, they'd have a chance. The Culling games have combined some of the strongest in history transcended through time, but still, it's Sukuna. Though it really would be interesting seeing how sorcerers like Yorozu and Kishimo even approach such an opponent, and better yet, what Sukuna will do when he leaves. Like, will he meet with Uruume and prepare for the ablution ritual? Will he go after Prison Realm, look for fingers, or just start mass murdering and killing people? There is so much that can happen. However, something or someone needs to oppose Sukuna. He is like a calamity waiting to happen. He is the Fallen. So whether it be a group effort or some other event, our sorcerers need time to reconvene and set things straight. Because if Hana dies, they lose a lot of leverage. And that's also something I like to touch on as well with Hana's character. Hana is an immensely important character, literally like a key, but her actual character is a bit shallow. I mean, I like it, I vibe with it a lot.
This right here is my favorite thing ever.
But her powerful display, being one of the few who can actually kill Sukuna, was completely drowned over by the fact that Megumi and Sukuna won her over with pure, unspeakable riz. Bro said her name once and she already fell head over heels for him. And I still actually like that. It'd be a lot cooler if Hana was more headstrong and competent, but she was already established as this kind of gullible, cute girl that likes Megumi. She was already making connections within the group. So seeing Megumi used like some puppet broke her. She wasn't in her right mind, and I think that's unfortunate that she turned out that way, but there had to be something to make Hana snap, and Megumi is her trigger. I can only hope her character isn't cut short, because being that strong and used as a sort of tragic love interest in that sort of way is an interesting direction. I would really hate for her to die so early on. However, with what character Hana lacks, I do think the Angel could sort of make up for. Even with something like a short flashback with Angel and Sukuna's relationship, Angel never said Sukuna's name once. He's just the fallen, the disgraced. So we need to see why that is. We're definitely gonna see, at least see in part of Angel's backstory, and there's just way too much lore there. But tell me what you awesome brothers think in the comments below. This chapter was amazing. Gege is just not afraid to give characters a really tough time, especially for our main cast. Ever since Shibuya, the sorcerers have just been losing their advantage, and now even Tengen is gone, many have died, Megumi is Sukuna's vessel, and Sukuna is free to wreak havoc, possibly going to kill more major characters as soon as next chapter. I'm just speechless. At least at this point, we have a break next week to really catch our breaths. And I have some cool calling game videos planned involving Jujutsu Kaisen's future and the power struggle among Jujutsu elites. But it's pretty exciting to be following JJK right now. Like and subscribe for more vids like this, and I'll see you awesome guys in the next one. Bye-bye.